Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boy.
The spending habits of Black people. Guys, we all know, everybody kind of knows the stereotype of Black people. You know, we shop for name brand items, we shop for goodies just to show our status. Us as Black people, we are known to show our status. And I want to put quotations on that. We show a status that we don't have. That's what we're known to do. You know, you wear the chains, you got the jewelry, the nice jewelry on, expensive shoes, as in Jordans. We rocking Chargers. You know, that's your car. Driving a Charger. It just, the list goes on and on and on. You know, even baseball caps these days are expensive. You know, if you got the most patches on your baseball cap and it doesn't cost you a lot, oh yeah, he's swagged out. So we are known as just spending habits, or we can even say, like, for the women per se, you know, purses, very expensive purses and things like that. The jewelry can also count for that, but we are a very flashy, wear it on the outside culture, as compared to, like they say, the white dad fit. You got your Skechers with the athletic shorts and some athletic, not even athletic shorts, some capri shorts. Y'all know the little capri shorts. They not really jean material. They like the capri shorts. Y'all know what I'm talking about. With a regular athletic short, they got the socks showing and everything, regular socks and everything. That's the middle-aged white dad fit, you know, and that's the opposite of Black people. So it was very interesting to me when something pops up and it's talking about the history of why Black people spend the way that we spend. Why do we have the spending habit? Why are we such a flashy culture? Just, I don't know if it's something that we're missing, something that we feel like we don't have, so we want to show it. But it was a video that showed it instead. So I decided to review this. Let's go ahead and get on into it, though. The long history of spending habits of Black people. Let's get it.
When Blacks were denied access to the nicer products sold in America, like clothes and even food. Store owners would provide subpar products that had a lasting and psychological impact. When Blacks were finally able to shop at mainstream stores, they didn't skip a beat, even going for the nicer items, even if they couldn't afford it. Now take a look at this. This was a marketing tool for store owners back in 1954.
Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why? Well, listen to what this customer is thinking.
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth.
Kind of jarring, isn't it? Welcome to the fact.
Yeah, that is very jarring, if you ask me. That is some crazy stuff, but psychologically, I think it kind of it makes sense. Not the racism in the video, but why people would feel or why black people would go out their way to get the more name brand expensive items. If you are looked at as a second class citizen and you're always given second class things, or you grew up on the, because back in the day, y'all, this habit has continued. When black people were first being able to obtain these things, they were being handed quote unquote second class items. They didn't have a chance to get a Gucci hat. There was no way you was going to get a Gucci hat. So when you finally got the chance to get a Gucci hat, you're like, oh, snap. I want the Gucci hat. It's like, to me, the kid who only gets hand-me-downs from their brothers or from their sister. Like, when you get a whole bunch of hand-me-downs, you look at new stuff in a whole different light. You want that new stuff. And this has psychologically been implanted into black people. And we've carried this over for generations now, I would say. But the psychological impact of it, and then the marketing scheme of it, that part definitely sucks. However, I do understand the corruption and the businesses and all that stuff. So I'm not even surprised of that commercial that just aired. Let's be real. I'm not surprised of the racism in that commercial at all. But I do think that commercial shined a light on the reality of the black plight in America. I really do. Let's continue, though.
Factor Uncensored. Many experts say the lingering effects of being treated like a second-class citizen in America for decades is still having a long-lasting impact on blacks today. How does that look? Spending more than you're saving, focusing on name brands to have that feeling of importance while impressing others instead of buying land while building generational wealth. Some say the marketing tools used on blacks in 1954 is still working today. Do you agree? Our panel is here tonight to
I will tell y'all. He asked, do you agree? I do agree. However, I have noticed I've noticed a shift in that we are now starting to focus a lot on financial literacy. I have noticed a little shift now. As a mass, has it taken over? I don't know. But in my sphere, I have noticed that we are moving towards more financial literacy and actually having that bag. Then, like he said, wanting to feel important or wanting to show people that I have that bag. Let's continue.
talk about it. Kim H., fashion and beauty guru, Todd Smith, CEO of Regal Media, and Dr. Diedrich von Biedenfeld, supply cycle and finance expert. Glad to have you all here on The Factor. Todd, when you look at that video, and you just have to stomach it because it was 1954. But when you think about what they were telling retailers to do for Black customers, has that lingered on today?
I think it's lingered on, and I want to say this. There's nothing wrong with having quality products, because I think in the long run, you end up saving money when you buy things that are a higher value. You buy cheaper things, they're cheaper for a reason. Carl Kanai once said you can't have quality for cheap. So you might end up spending money, more money. But the problem is, like the video says, and you said, we're buying things that we cannot afford to impress people that really don't even like us. And we all, a lot of us do it.
Or we don't like.
Oh, we don't like. There's a story about Debbie Allen being in the Galleria, I believe, one time, and they didn't know who she was. Mm-hmm. And she was at a high-end, maybe a Lalique store, whatever it may have been. And she left because they refused service or something like that. She said, I should go buy the most expensive thing in there. And then she had to catch herself. They don't want me in here. Why would I give them commission? So we have been beaten down, and it's a shame that other races look at us. They're taking advantage of us, because really they don't want us. But if you're going to spend your money, let's go get that Black money. So if a brand doesn't want me, I'm not going to fight to give them my money. I'm going to shop. This is Dapper Dan, even though it's with the Gap. a black designer, the famous hip hop designer from Harlem, I'll support who supports me, and I'm not quick to give my money to people who don't like me.
And one of the things,
He just hit it on the head though, for sure. Because I like how he came at it like wanting quality items is not the problem here at all. We should all want quality items that will last us a long time. You shouldn't have to, get a cheap item that it's going to break the next day. And then you got to keep spending your money. And in the long run, it is more expensive to have the cheap shirt. However, when it comes to commercials like this, black people, I feel like we do spend our money a lot of times in spaces where they don't give a piss about black people at all. The only thing they see is that green. All right, well, you got the money for it. Come on, we'll take your money, but we don't have to like you. I think that for sure is something that plays a part in America today. You seen the racist ad that just happened. Ridiculous.
things he said in that video, and that video was pretty long. That was part 2, there's part 1. And one of the things that they indicated was, don't question the black buyer, because you will turn them away and they will go and spend their money elsewhere. And this was white psychological experts or psychologists to white retailers saying, don't turn them away, don't question them, take their money and run with it.
Right.
Your thoughts on this, Kim?
So my thoughts on that is they're still doing that today. Billions of dollars are being put into advertising. And one of the things that I've noticed that over a period of time, I had an aunt that was a seamstress. She was a furrier for Neiman Marcus in the 60s and the 70s. And so, 70s and 80s for the most part. And she would look at a garment and turn it inside out, look at it and say, that's not your money's worth. Mm-hmm. But now it's been dumbed down. People, because of fast fashion, the turnover is so high, this looks like that, or the fake market. People don't even recognize quality. So I think sometimes we think that the same thing that they sell at the factory outlets are the same things that the designers are selling in their high-end couture spaces, and you don't know that, and people don't know the difference because the market has been flooded. I think those things are still in play because you're wearing a label and not actually quality.
And I want to know though from you guys.
And she hit it on the head as well. Let's go down the line. Zara, Fashion Nova, Shein, all of this stuff is fast fashion to the moon. All of it's horrible quality. Let's be real. I even shopping at ASOS and all these spots. I will even admit I bought a lot of these clothes because the name that was attached to them. Well, not even ASOS, because ASOS is not big. But if you go and you shop at Zara, even when H&M was real big and all these stuff, I even remember going through school. Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister, all those things were like, the quality wasn't even good. Shopping purely off of name brand, off the name. American Eagle is one of them as well. So these tactics to this day still are prevalent. And the fact that he said, don't question them about it, just take their money and go, that adds even more to as long as you have a name brand, your quality can be whatever it wants to be, and they are going to buy. Don't question if they should afford it. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit out of their range. They're going to prove it. They're still going to buy it. Still going to buy it.
As Dr. Von Biedenfeld, I want to hear from you. We spend, as African Americans, $300 billion a year.
Yeah.
Are we still following this 1954 video or the effects of that 1954 video to our detriment as a community?
Absolutely. And I think both prior panelists have touched on this, and I agree with Todd. My mother, Patsy Ann, black woman in the 40s, pointed out to me, why are you keeping up with the Joneses when you'll never be a Rockefeller or Carnegie? And many times she, as an upper middle class, master degree black woman, was told where a bargain basement was when she would go into a store, which immediately would take her dollars elsewhere. So I think we recognize this, but we still have a lot of these traditions. We know these terms like Kleenex and Xerox. Well, we used to have the idea of the Cadillac of goods, but if we look at the market reliability of Cadillacs nowadays, maybe that isn't a great standard. Similarly with clothing and fashion and what you're getting your money's worth when you turn it in and out and you say, well, you know, these seams don't match or these patterns. So we are following this to our detriment because our credit scores aren't as good. And we've seen Latino spending power almost reach parity. That 1.5 trillion for the black community that's been here 400 years is very similar to the Latino community that, while many of these states were taken from their lands, are very similar. So I think we can see parallels in this, but the reality is we as a culture recognize the need to fit in and where we get questioned less, so that business casual as a cheat code to stability and legitimacy.
All right, we're going to come back and talk.
Why did all of them have to hit it on the head like that? Every single one of them hit it on the head. Great for me. Great to me. I didn't know that black people had that much spending power here in America. And to our detriment, though, we are spending it in areas that it's just not worth it. In Atlanta, especially being in Atlanta, y'all know you see a lot of this keeping up with the Joneses activity. The amount of Charger Hellcats I see, they get stolen easily too. So that's bad quality. It's bad quality. If you can't park on the side of the road without it getting stolen, somebody can get a key, a fake key, not even your key, and get right into your car and drive it off to West Bumble, and then you got to go fight to get your car back. Ain't this some craziness? But it looked nice though. It do look nice. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You be looking good right now in the street, looking fresh now. And your Jordans, we all know Jordan's quality done went down. I heard some of my folks talking about it the other day. Man, what you got in your feet? Yeah, you know, it's still a little sun. It ain't like the old ones though. No, because that quality went down. But it still make you look fresh. It still make you feel important. When them ladies see you in them Jordans, they gonna look at you a little different. All in all, the spending habits of black people have definitely been targeted. We have been a targeted class. And we fall into a trap, I feel like. It's very much a trap because it is low quality, high-priced items. I don't think it's worth it. Y'all, I went to Zara and I shopped for some shirts. Tell me why the button on the shirt, I probably wore it once. One of the buttons already looked like it's about to fall out. I'm pissed. I got that shirt, and honestly, it's like regular fashion. This fast fashion bull pisses me off. And I'm not even somebody who's that into fashion. But it pisses me off because I really went to Zara because it's named Zara. You can see this all over the world, y'all. It's Zara. Fast fashion, low quality bull that I paid a lot for. But that's just the spending habits of black people. And now I see that the history of it, how a lot of this stuff is marketed specifically to black people. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I do think the psychological effects of what happened in the 50s, 60s, we being able to shop at these places, being able to eat at these places, being able to patronize these places, yes, it still affects us today. With that, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know How do y'all feel about that? Are we still affected? Oh no, like, are we still affected by the things that they said in that video? The first video, the commercial. Is that still something that happens to black people? Because I think it sure is. It sure is. Let somebody try to question me about how much money I got. I'm walking straight out of there. Nah, but for real though, y'all, we do need to start patronizing better places, or we need to stop focusing on what's on the outside and actually get our community and get our house together so that we can actually start creating some generational wealth for real. And we just not gonna look like it with all the chains we got on.